What we do here is go back.
Dudesky. Well, thank you. Mr. Hanna, you were able to do drugs during the day and still function, still do your job. How the fuck else would you do this job? Cocaine and hookers, my friend. It's all a fugazi. You know what fugazi is? Fugazi. It's fake. Yeah, fugazi, fugazi. It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real. There's two keys to success in the business. First of all, you gotta stay relaxed. Yeah. You jerk off. Do I jerk off? Yeah. Yeah, I jerk off, yeah. 3 times a week. Like, 3 times, maybe. I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket. I myself, I jerk off at least twice a day. Wow. Once in the morning, right after a workout, and then once right after lunch. Really? Okay? I want to. That's not what I do. I do it because I fucking need to. Think about it. You're dealing with numbers all day long. Decimal points, high frequencies, bang, bang, bang. Fucking digits. All very acidic, above the shoulders, mustard shit. Right? I'm gonna wig some people out. Right. You gotta feed the geese to keep the blood flowing. I keep the rhythm below the belt. Done. This is not a tip. This is a prescription. Trust me. If you don't, you will fall out of bed, split your differential, and tip the fuck over. Or worse yet, I've seen this happen. Implode. No, I don't want to implode, sir. No, you don't. I'm in it for the long run, you know. Implosions are ugly. Yeah. Pop off to the bathroom, work one out anytime you can, and when you get really good at it, you'll fucking be stroking it, and you'll be thinking about money. Yeah.
What we do here is go back.
Hey, I'm unmuted, and you're unmuted. Isn't that lovely?
Oh, it is lovely.
It's a lovely day. A lovely day, isn't it? It's really not.
What do we have planned for today?
Well, there was a plan, but the plan got lost.
Lost in dream space.
Someone fucking put a rag Someone put a rag over my head, and I don't know the last couple of hours. I don't know. I can't remember.
So you're gonna fall on that. Go on.
Would you be able to? I can't. For some reason, I'm blanking out. What's the chemical they put on the rag?
Chloroform.
Chloroform. Yes, thank you. I was thinking ether for some fucking reason. I was like, no, that's fucking Fear and Loathing.
You know I always gotta think of chloroform on me just in case. You never know. You never know when I forget if it was like Bill Clinton or like I forget who just like went into like just a random McDonald's like by himself because he's like snuck off from the White House just to get a burger. He like snuck away from the security. You never know when the president's just like right there, unprotected, getting himself a sandwich. So you always gotta have the chloroform on it.
Oh man, which president was that? I'm gonna look that up now.
It sounds like something like Ford would do too, but I can't remember if it was Clinton or Ford. I know Ford got locked out. I know Ford was the one that got locked out of the White House when he was taking his dog for a walk, and then like set off all the alarms and had like security like come and tackle him.
Bill Clinton. It was
Bill. It was Bill Clinton.
It was good old Bill. Man, god damn it! Why couldn't I live through his fucking presidency? Everybody talks shit about him, but his presidency seems to be the fucking best one so far.
I mean, they're all shitty. I mean, he was on Epstein's plate a lot, but
Yeah. Yeah, that.
because I mean, he's just he is the politician.
I hate that he was, but man, dude, the more that I hear about him, the more I'm just like, people are just hating. They're just hating, like Hunter Biden. People are just fucking hating on him. You know? Do you know how many fucking
Don't
people?
hate, appreciate.
Do you know how many people would love to snort cocaine off of hookers' asses, off of the government's dime? That's the only reason why people hate Hunter Biden. Because they're doing what they want to do.
Mm-hmm. Better believe it. And I love the fact that when leaving office, like Bill and Hillary were just like stealing all the stuff out of the White House, like you would out of a hotel room when you're bailing out.
Yeah, boy.
I thought it was complimentary. Thought we were allowed to keep it.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh, that.
I always forget that he's from Arkansas too. He's a good old country boy.
Oh man.
And also possibly pushing a dude off of a roof allegedly.
Hey, I
Not
mean,
confirmed.
at least he would be the only president that has some action under his fucking belt.
Yeah, other than like Teddy Roosevelt, like.
Yeah, you pretty much spoiled for choice on that one.
Isn't it Teddy Roosevelt when there's an assassination attempt on him, he got shot, but he still like went through his whole speech with a bullet wound in him?
I think so. President.
But he was also a member of the KKK,
Yeah,
what a
sure.
lot of politicians were at the time.
And continued speech. I'm glad I'm not the only one that fucking. It was Theodore Roosevelt.
Mhm.
Damn.
He also was the reason we have like national parks, why they're protected.
Roosevelt, an experienced hunter and entomologist, correctly concluded that since he was not coughing blood, the bullet had not reached his lung, and he declined suggestions to go to the hospital immediately. Instead, he delivered his scheduled speech with blood seeping into his shirt. Holy fucking shit.
Like even at the time, I'd be like, "This guy is racist," but like after watching that speech, I mean, the other dude's racist too, so I'm voting for Teddy.
Yeah, Teddy won. Teddy got my. Unfortunately, Teddy's earned my respect.
I mean, honestly, like Teddy gets like tell me the exact opposite of everything I believe in, but after like seeing him get shot and do that speech, he earned my vote.
Like that. That's how you fucking do it right there. That's how you win the American public over.
Oh yeah. Don't make presidents like that no more.
Oh no, all the other presidents are bitch ass made presidents. Bitch ass made.
Fucking Teddy Roosevelt was part of the Rough Riders too. They were just like charging up, like getting shot at by like these. Actually, seen the type of cannons that the Spanish were using, and it was like they were like 3-barreled cannons that like they would like rotate as they'd shoot. So it was just like boom, 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 like
You
giant ass like 6 feet.
you already got my pants off. Calm down.
He's just like, you gotta ride up to him on fucking horses, going through the goddamn trenches.
All right, so
That's what happened. We don't have trench warfare anymore. That was like the last cool world warfare. New warfare is kind of like just kind of slimy.
We are going to do a tier list today. That is what
Tier list.
That is what we will be doing today. But before we get into the tier list, we have to establish something.
Mhm.
So we got 2 Brian David Gilbert videos that we have to watch first. It's very important
Alrighty.
that we. It's very,
Very
important.
important. Oh, yeah.
This one, I don't know if we might have watched this one already on stream, but we're watching it again.
It didn't look familiar.
This is the rollerbladers' world is limitless.
The rollerbladers world is limitless. In life, there's things that you can do, and then there's things that you can't do, all right? But in rollerblading, it's not like the rest of life, because there's only things that you can do. And when you look at the math of it, all right, the things that you can do, they're limitless, all right? And the things that you can't do, they are limited, right? Because there's 0, because because you can do anything on a rollerblade. And there are going to be people who say that that doesn't make sense, all right, and that can't be real. Yeah, but and their names probably Steven, maybe Stephanie, potentially even. I'm ready for anything. And just go ahead and think about any other cardio sport. You got baseball, and you got cricket, and you got, what's the one with the little butterfly net? Lacrosse. They all have very obvious limits, all right? And what's the defining feature of all of them, and what ties them all together? It's balls. I split my life into 3 sections. There was the time before I started rollerblading, and then there was the time I got really into rhythmic gymnastics, and then there was the time after I started rollerblading. And are there rules to rollerblading? Yeah, sure. Okay, there are. All right, there's 16 of them. I'm not gonna tell you what they are. Oh, that water's hot. But that's what I need. There's nothing like that feeling, all right, of pushing your body down a space, all right? And your legs, they don't have to, you can put your foot down on the ground and it still keeps moving. Have you thought about that? Gotta stay prepared. When did I pick up rollerblading? Why did I pick up rollerblading? How did I pick up rollerblading? Where did I pick up rollerblading? These questions don't matter. And I would prefer if you didn't ask them. Rollerblading? Yes, there's the speed, all right? And then there's the thought process, and then there's the feeling of weightlessness, and then there's the experience of Zen, all right? And then there's the thought process again, but then after that there's the growth, all right? And then there's how soon
Look how
the
surreal it
pride
gets.
of the rollerblader is brought to heel by the unyielding lawn.
You gotta love Brian David Gilbert. You gotta love him.
Oh, yeah.
This is a pretty old video too. This is one of his videos right before he left Polygon.
Oh. Oh, damn. Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Polygon era.
But
Oh,
in
sorry,
rollerblade,
video again. I was tripping out. Yeah, we're actually about to watch. It's the Unraveled. It's I kind of wish that it didn't end, cause I missed the Unravels. Even though I get that there wasn't much that he could do after the 28 episodes that he did. Well, I think it's only 27. But still, it's sad to see it go. But
Oh,
we're about to watch an episode actually, because we need to establish there is a
references.
yeah there's a it's only one reference, but it really bothers me this tier list has this reference on it, because it's so obviously from like there's no other reason why it should be on here.
Mhm.
So it has to be a Brian David Gilbert reference. If it's not, I'm upset. But it's gotta be. It's gotta be. Alright. Let's see. Let me make sure everything's ready to go. I need to check the chat real quick because I can't see it.
Check the chat. What's up with that? Oh, chat, are you out there? Are
Nobody's
you
in the chat.
listening? Are you ready for a tier
Who's
list?
surprised?
No, you're not.
Hey,
Ain't ready.
we're not the only sad sacks that are streaming right now that have nobody.
Oh.
You know, the market is oversaturated. That's a fucking problem. That's the fucking, like, everybody's trying to goddamn do it.
You simply have to kill the other streamers.
It's a simple task. Alright, let's go.
Castlevania! One of my favorite game series of all time. The myriad enemies you face in Dracula's abode are made even better, knowing that they come from real mythology and folklore. Wouldn't it be nice if there was one place you could find the full bestiary of every monster in Castlevania? I think that would be nice. Or at least I thought it would be nice. Oh, I swear to God, the first time I started filming this video, I thought it would be an easy change of pace. I mean, how many unique enemies could there really be in Castlevania? 100? 200? How about more than 600? So I booked 3 hours in this studio to film, and then we ran out of time about halfway through, so I went out to grab some lunch, but it started to rain, so I ate a chicken sandwich, drenched. That has nothing to do with the video, I just wanted you to know my pain. So I had to start filming all over again, this time after hours in a random meeting room in our office building. And when I finished that, I had 3.5 hours of footage that I was able to whittle down into an hour-long video that was very educational and extremely entertaining. Just kidding, it was boring as hell. But just when all hope seemed lost, I had an epiphany. I am going to throw myself into the sea. Luckily, before I could do that, my coworker stopped me and convinced me that trying to categorize all 600
Want that hour-long video. He has stated multiple times that is not true, that we don't want that video. But if you can give me I literally watch his Twitch streams. Well, the recorded that he placed on, just to get more Brian David Gilbert. If I can get an hour of Brian David Gilbert teaching me about a bestiary of mythological creatures, fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, give me that fucking video, man.
Yeah, if YMS can do 2 almost 4-hour videos about one movie, then you can make an hour-long thing about all the monsters in Castlevania.
Oh yeah, people would love it. People would love it. Even if it is boring, people would still fucking love it. I'd watch it over and over again.
100 Castlevania monsters was a bad idea, and instead, I could just pick the hot one. Ask yourself, why are vampires always the hot monster? Isn't it someone else's turn? I'm here to answer that question now that I'm filming this video for the 3rd time. Be thankful that I'm not releasing an hour-long video of me basically just lecturing you on mythology. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll release that video some other time. That was a joke! I'm not gonna do that! You're gonna have to trust me, it was a really bad video. So let's find Castlevania's most eligible bachelor! Let's call down that list of over 600 enemies. We're gonna start by smushing all of the ones with common mythologies into just one enemy, so that way we don't have to deal with the 96 different skeletons. We're also gonna cut out all of the evil human beings, and that includes the Belmonts that you fight as enemies, and also all of the vampires. We all know that Dracula is hot, We all know that Richter Belmont is hot. I'm also gonna go ahead and cut all of the enemies from Boku Dracula-kun, which was just a spin-off series, and Getsu Fumaden enemies, which only appeared in one stage in Castlevania Harmony of Despair. And now it's time to cut out the animals, mythical or otherwise. Look, if they're anthropomorphized, sure, but for things like Owl, that's not a monster.
I've never played any
That's
of
a
these
bird.
games.
What about ephemera like Will-o'-the-Wisps, or
I played the ones that are on the Game Boy Advance. I played those, but I'd never played any of the original or anything. I mean, I have on the Nintendo Entertainment System subscription service. They're on there, so you can take a crack at them. So I have, but I've never like fully like delve into them.
I know my one of my sisters has like a whole like gaming arcade setup in her house, and like they have like a bunch of bootleg like games or like full of the arcade things, or at one time they did, and I remember that I played a little Castlevania on that like arcade style, and it was pretty sweet. That only that was just like one drunken night.
Yeah, I never had too much. I watched the Castlevania TV series. That was pretty good.
Yeah. I remember it was funny because they also had a claw machine, and like there's a bunch of stuffed animals that had like little the mini there's like mini alcohol bottles like strapped to them, so you could like get a little
Yeah,
prize with what you get. Oh yeah, I was getting them.
Oh yeah, because that claw machine wasn't rigged like the fucking most claw machines are.
Yeah, and also you just open it up and press the little like start button that's inside instead of paid for. But yeah, it was pretty sweet setup.
inanimate objects made animate, kind of like golems or marionettes. I went back and forth on whether or not to include these, and then I realized they creep me out, so I cut them. Now I'm gonna cut out all of the gods and the god servants and the embodiments of things like chaos and evil, because those are inherently unique. I'm gonna cull this list a little bit more, because let's be honest, vampires aren't the only
Tiz, was that you? Oh no.
It was Dr. Gay.
Yeah, I did.
He was calling to give you an actual official diagnosis of you being a type 2 gay.
I forget that.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
it's a terminal.
before
sorry.
before the phone was, I was gonna explain why I abruptly stopped. While I was calling you, the phone was ringing for like 5 minutes before you picked up. Halfway through, I was like, let me get Starfish on the phone. So I had to clear that up real quick. My beads.
Oh. Yeah.
That plan didn't work out either, so I just had to let the phone keep ringing.
Oh, were you trying to get Starfish on the stream?
No, I wasn't trying to get him on the stream. I was calling him to get you on the phone earlier. Yeah, because I was just sitting here listening to the phone ring, and it was ringing for quite a while.
Oh yeah, it must have
And
been.
he just messaged me back, and I stopped and I had to explain.
Yeah.
It would myself would have bothered myself if I didn't explain it.
Someday we will make him go on one of these streams though.
Oh yeah,
Get some free. Yeah, I feel like because like a lot of times we only have him on reviews, so we kind of only have him in a more of a kind of an organized it's usually not a lot of time or something. So it'd be fun to have him just kind of like shit talk,
Yeah, shoot the shit.
Shoot the shit, yeah.
Boy.
only monsters that have had a
Back to the
taste
guild.
of that sexy limelight. Witches and warlocks, zombie, orc, tree ants, werewolf, merman, gargoyle, gremlin, ghosts, Medusa, cyclops, yeti, fox archer, ogres, stained glass knight from Young Sherlock Holmes, where he appeared as the first photorealistic CGI in any movie back in 1985. And finally, mummies, Brendan Fraser. Wasn't the mummy in the film, but he's sexy enough that just by association. But we've culled it down to the perfect number to figure out our sexy monster. That's right, we got 69 left. Can I get a whoop? Woo! We'll work on it, Clayton. Criteria for what makes a sexy monster. Number 1, is it replicable? I've already explained this, it can't be a unique monster. Anything unique can be sexy. Look at Benedict Cumberbatch. Number 2, is it dateable? Could you have a conversation with this monster? Can you bring it to Applebee's? And number 3, can this monster get it? We're gonna start with the
yeah, I was
viable ones
surprised-
that probably
okay,
aren't the best
spoilers
sex
for,
icons, like Mimic,
spoilers
which is
for,
kind of a veiny blob. The two-headed creature, part
What
Cyclops,
is it?
part
Book of
werewolf,
Clarence?
all bad. White, W-I-G-H-T,
Spoilers for
comes from the Old
Book of
English.
Clarence. Benedict Cumberbatch is in it as like a pseudo Jesus.
Oh man, I wanna fucking see that movie so bad. When I saw it,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's piqued my interest, and that's very rare that a modern movie.
It-
like, a couple have been
I was
piquing my
saying-
interest here lately.
Had a pretty brutal crucifixion scene. They didn't skip out on that.
I would hope not.
Yeah, it seemed interesting. It's a musical, so get ready.
Whoa,
Like,
it's a
have that in your
musical.
expectation. Yes, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
there's been
didn't
a lot
know
of
that.
musicals out. That Mean Girls sequel is a fucking musical too. Except that's awful. It sounds like all the songs sound like they're like from High School Musical. It's like that type of thing.
Oh god. Where
And it was
they
like
just-
made by Tina Fey, I guess.
where for some odd reason just the whole school breaks out in song and dance during a pep rally.
Mhm. And then there's the Color Purple that just came out, like that remake, which was already a musical, so that's a musical too. Wonka is a fucking musical.
Oh, fuck Wonka, man. Fuck Wonka. That shit is.
Fuck Wonka. I agree.
Aw, dude.
I agree. It's still out, and I still have to hear the fucking songs. I still have to hear
Oh.
fucking all the colors of the rainbow. Eight mothers, two. You know that line specifically like fills me with such a rage. Just the way he says it. It's like, because like that little part where he goes, and some others too. You guys can see him just like putting his fucking like fists like on his waist, and, like a little like.
Yeah, I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about.
It's like, what the fuck you talking about? You're talking about all the colors of the rainbow and some others too. If it's part of the rainbow, it's all the colors. Even if you can't see them, it's still part of the color spectrum. There's not any other ones that are part of the color spectrum. Even if we can't see it. He's talking about others too.
You're lying to me.
I'm gonna be like Lovecraft. If there's some other ones too, then I'm fucking afraid. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Oh, man. All right, let's get back to the gills.
Term meaning human being. It's like just a blue zombie. Necromancers, I don't know, they're into weird shit. Spriggans come from Cornish fairy lore, and they are described as old wizened men with huge childlike heads, which someone's into, I'm sure. Nominon is a beast that, like, sucks the dreams out of your brains, and that's not a very supportive partner. Punaguchi is just a large protruding mouth. I don't want to know what that mouth do. The man-eating plant, the wak-wak tree, and the human face tree are all plants, so if you wanted to make the monster sexy, it's just a plant. The rug creature, you never actually see what it is, it's just always under the rug, which means it's probably just like a cat. Heart Eater, if you're into bad boys. Castlevania has some of the best design in any pixel art game, except for the Tower's Guardian. I don't know what the hell this is. A ghoul isn't necessarily a zombie, it is something that eats corpses, which is just gross. This one's for the sapiosexuals out there. The brain float. Alaster, you should be wary of anyone who builds their personality around swords. Elementals are just embodiments of fire and frost, just hard to cuddle with. The Legend of Zelda, it's just a person with scythes. They are also known by the name the Night Stalker, which is a big red flag. The Kioma demon hangs out in mirrors and jumps out and scares you, and I don't need any more reason to be afraid of looking
Maybe they're
at
just an
myself in the mirror.
AC/DC fan.
Man Beast comes.
Ramirez was.
Wasn't who? Yeah, wasn't it Richard Ramirez? Wasn't that his favorite song by them? Was the Night
Yeah.
Stalker? No, it wasn't. It was
It's called
something
Night Prowler.
Night.
It's called
it
Night
wasn't-
Prowler.
But it wasn't that. It was the other song that was his favorite. Fuck. What was that song? I remember the person making a joke saying it should have been his favorite, which it should be his favorite, but it's not.
Oh yeah. Because I think it was they. Oh yeah, 'cause I think I thought it was because last podcast actually opens up the episode with Night Prowler,
Yeah.
which was like a really cool, like awesome way to like open a. It was like an older one, so there it was kind of disrespectful. I guess they made it too cool. I guess, but I liked it. It set the mood. And also just awesome to hear. That's a good. That is a good. That's like AC/DC at their best.
Oh
Also.
Gonna have to add that to my queue. I was listening to the episode about cryptid towns. They're talking about all the towns that have a cryptid mascot.
It's actually one of the few ones that are actually kind of hard for me to go back to. He's just so fucking chaotic with his shit too. Right? He's one of the worst.
Yeah, I to be honest, I don't know when it comes to last podcast, what the harshest one would be. It has to be Carla Homonka and what's his name? The couple and Fred and Rose. Anytime there's a couple involved, it bothers that bothers the fuck out of me.
I just thought with Richard Ramirez, it was just like I know there's like a couple things with children.
Oh yeah.
Usually
no,
that works
he's a
for me.
monster. He did, which fucking Carla Homonka and Fred and Rose West, they were all about underage people, like all their victims
Yeah,
were
yeah.
underage. But yeah,
I just know that there's the thing with the 4-year-old, that's like always just like before you even have like a concept of anything.
Yeah,
you
true.
know?
I guess it's because the level of trust you usually have with a couple, you don't most of the time you're weary of a single, not a single but like if you're with a complete stranger, you're not 100% okay with them right off the bat. You're standoffish and everything, but the second like their spouse or something walks up, something about that just like instantly like, oh okay, they're married, they're in a relationship, they're nice and happy loving
they're
couple.
trustworthy.
They trust each other, so I can trust them.
Yeah. Nope.
You fucking-
Don't trust anyone. A bunch of
don't-
apes. That's just 2 apes. That's just a couple of apes.
Yeah, that's just that. Unfortunately, sometimes 2 monsters get together.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely Fred and Rose West. They were monsters. I'm not going. Allegedly, Carla Homonka was not a monster, but I don't know, man. I don't fucking know.
I don't know, man. I think there's more to argue like for goddamn Warnos than fucking Homonka.
Oh yeah, Warnos. There's a lot more to argue about when it comes to Eileen
Yeah.
Warnos than fucking Carla Homonka.
Yeah, but then like also at least it's like a bunch of Johns, which like they didn't deserve it at all.
Yeah,
And, like,
true.
but still, it's different than than what her manga did.
One of Eileen Wuornos's fucking people wasn't even a John. I think it was
No,
literally her last victim. He was just trying to be helpful.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, he was even like offering her like a place to stay, like offering for her to stay at his place, and like he was being like, just trying to be a 100% good Samaritan, but nope.
Though not the victim blame, like, and I don't think he was up to anything nefarious. It is kind of weird to like when you're putting that much on someone, like, oh, come stay at my place or something. I feel like he is maybe like hoping like, oh, maybe I can fix her, and then maybe we'll like fall in love and
Maybe it always could be. There's always that.
Which
that
isn't
possibility.
something that like grants death, but like he definitely put himself in a situation with a stranger. But
That doesn't see but fucking because of that, people aren't as because of people like that. You can't be you can't be nice now. You can't fucking.
I mean, yeah, now it's actually illegal to hitchhike in a lot of places. That's because of all the fucking serial killers.
Like it's just you can't be.
They ruined it.
Can't be a good.
They ruined it for
Samaritan.
everyone. That's all I can say. It got ruined. Can't do it anymore. There's a
Like,
time and
man,
place, and it's gone.
There was a well. Now I don't think there's anybody that would be helpful. I think that those days are long. Like, not only was the days of being able to be helpful is gone, that it kind of went out the window already. That nobody was gonna. I think it didn't matter if that shit became illegal or not. Is what I'm trying to say.
But I feel
Okay.
like back then there was always like sometimes like
They-
an unspoken exchange that was implied with helping sometimes, especially when you're on a lonesome road back in
Maybe.
those days.
Maybe, but
And
I don't think
that's why with like Eileen Wuornos, I think it was something that started legit, and then she just kind of fell into like, oh, I could easily make money
I
just
think
by
that
like,
implica-
assuming that.
Yeah, the implications, but I think the implications is a new phenomenon that there was a point in time where if you were just a homeless, ragged person on the side of the road and someone was like, "Hey, you need a place to stay tonight? I got an extra bed." You could totally trust that person. The person you'd go to that place, you go to that house, they'd let you use their shower, they fix you something to eat and let you sleep, and then next day you off on your own, again.
I feel like the implications have always been there. They just weren't talked about and were just kind of accepted because I feel like
That-
there was just like a more casual thing. I mean,
that
even when
goes
you even go
against-
back to all the way to the 20s, like even hobos had like a whole culture of like.
But that
you
goes
know,
against the
of,
fact that there are some people that aren't like that, though. That they do not suspect.
Yeah,
they don't-
like that's usually
they-
like
there are
sheltered people
good-
that are like
I'm gonna,
going out onto the road.
It's the best way to put it. There are actual Christians that practice what they're supposed to practice. They don't expect anything back. They're just doing the Lord's work, and that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And there's got to be
gotcha.
there's got to be non-religious people like that too. I mean, if you can't, I would really hope there's some decent human beings that are outside of religion.
Oh yeah. I'd say there's probably like a good person on the road now and then, but I'm just saying like the general law of the road, like what you're gonna run into half of the time. You know what I mean?
I think that started out in the 60s
Back
and
then.
70s.
Yeah.
I think that, like, again, but that's still recent. I'm talking about like if you went back in the 1800s
And like the 20s too, because like all like Carl
No,
Panzer
not
in with all the hobos, like fucking little boys on the train.
That's
They had a whole terminology too. It's like you'd have like a little boy that would help you rob banks, and you'd fuck.
yeah, but
Call
that's
you
not.
call him a yeg.
That's not somebody that has a house or a. That's the hobo community. That's a completely
Yeah,
different
but
subject.
you see,
That's
someone who gets on the road in the hitchhiker, they enter that world, and they enter all the people that like help people around that world. That type of, there's like a whole like weird like culture and stuff of like just like people who are on the road who like look out for people that are on the road. I mean
Yeah. No,
I mean,
no,
especially back then.
I get it, but no, I don't think that was a thing back then. I think that's more prevalent nowadays because it grooming wasn't necessary back in the day.
Grooming was pretty easy. I hear my mom just talk about
I
like
don't-
how like casual it was that like teachers would just do that and it was just accepted. I think it was just
That-
because it was accepted.
That would be during the That would be during the time period that I'm talking about.
Yeah, then like you go back even before then too, just like like boys will be boys type of attitude. Yeah, that's always been like back then.
Nah, I don't think so. I think that the war after the Great War, after the World Wars, is when that mentality really took into effect. Like
I don't know.
there might have been the niche small little section of people that were into it, but people didn't start roaming I don't feel people didn't start roaming the streets for groomies till the homeless problem became a when you know what this when did the homeless
Homeless have been a thing of all throughout America. That's how like
when
they've had
has it
like
become
even like that's how like hobo culture.
I'm
That's
not
how the
saying-
hobo culture got like. That's like from
I'm-
1920s.
I'm gonna
Like
have to-
Carl
I'm not-
Panzram,
I'm
like
not,
fucking.
I'm not saying. I'm not asking when homeless people. I'm talking about when did it start becoming a problem.
Probably Great Depression.
That
Probably
be
it was like a
30
huge influx during the
that
Great-
would be
Great
that would
Depression.
be after. That would be after the time period we're talking about. Okay, so yeah, it's very simple. This proves you right. The homeless issue became a problem in 1870s. So yeah, there's probably been a group of people just running around getting.
I mean, homeless are gonna exist throughout
Again,
like the.
you're not.
Especially through the rise of the
You're completely
industry and
missing what I'm
corporatism.
saying. It's not the fact that homeless people. When did it become a problem? When did it become a problem? There was homeless people before 1870s, but it became an epidemic in 1870s after the Civil War.
Okay, but I feel like there's.
being homeless.
I guess
back-
we'd have to look at like and see if there's any like past serial killers or like
what I'm
past
trying to-
criminals
what I'm
that
trying
would
to
prey
establish
upon
is there's a
homeless
point-
communities back then.
There's a point in time where being homeless was 100% a choice. Like you didn't have to be homeless at a certain point. Like your parents or your community or something was small and niche enough to take care of you, and they were totally willing to, and it was up to you to be a fucking vagabond.
Or you were mentally ill or had or an alcoholic.
Yeah. Again, not the mental illness, but the alcohol. That being alcoholic is pretty much your choice.
I mean, it's in a way, yeah.
Like you can't choose this. You can't choose your mental illness, but you can choose the substances you do.
But I mean, you could have generational alcoholism. I mean, people can be born addicted to alcohol, especially at that time when people didn't really take care and like not drinking during pregnancies and stuff too. I mean, and all you need is,
That
especially in
doesn't-
the culture that was back then, you could easily like they'd give
I
you
know
like
a
as a
shit-
kid, like give you like a
I
swig
know
of
a
beer, and then you
shit
could.
ton of I know a shit ton of meth babies that will never touch meth in their life, though. So that doesn't correlate.
Yeah. But
That-
meth isn't
that-
as like much like as like accepted in the
It's-
culture as alcohol
uh,
is. Like
But
alcohol
it's
has been
it's a lot
throughout
more addictive.
time.
It's a lot more addictive drug than.
I don't know. I don't want to speak for any alcoholics out
There's
Yeah.
literally been babies that had to be given meth after birth because their mothers were just too on it. Like the hospital had
Yeah.
to give the fucking baby methamphetamine, or the baby would die from from the withdrawals. Like it's
Mhm.
and then they grow up and they don't they don't ever want to touch the stuff. It's like, it's just not something. That's a case by case basis right there.
I just don't want to. I just want to be
There's-
careful and not
I'm-
simplifying and dog whistling
I'm
like the
not-
fact, like, oh, to any addicts out there, it's just a choice, and it's not like we shouldn't really give a shit about them because it's like, well,
I'm not
why are you
saying
fucking
that
addicts?
it's a choice to be an addict. I'm saying that it's not your parent being an addict isn't going to progress and go into you. Your parent's addiction doesn't become your addiction. That's not possible.
I'm not saying that it's that simple,
mean,
but I'm saying that could correlate,
I mean, yes, your baby,
especially
can be
since it's your
addicted-
parent and
you
they're
can
they're
make
like your role model too.
You can make your baby addicted to the substances you're doing inside. That is the probability is there, but that's not what causes addiction inside somebody.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Then also a culture that, I mean, like going to the saloon or whatever the fuck, going to the bar. But everyone's gonna be at the bar, and you're fucking gay if you're not gonna have a drink.
That is your choice to.
Unless you're in a more Puritan, part of a place,
And that is 100% your choice to fall under that peer pressure. You're the one.
Yeah.
You're responsible for that. That's your responsibility.
Mhm. But it's low.
There's-
You could say definitely like it being pushed on people, and especially people who weren't educated at the time about it, other than just kind of like, oh,
you can
some kind
say
of like
that
old
it's
sayings
bad
about
to-
that. It's the devil's water.
Yeah, that's true. But you can say that it's bad to peer pressure, but people fear peer pressure even though there is no peer pressure. So
Hmm. But also, I mean, it is kind of like part of your DNA too, because some people can just be more susceptible to addiction than others. And there is definitely like, even though there's a mental part of it that's huge, and especially with the choice and start, there is a small part of it that is chemical.
well, yeah, because you're.
I mean, to the fact that especially once you get to the point of withdrawals and stuff, so there's
I'm
the
not
body
speaking
is seeking it
on-
out.
I'm not speaking on 100% fact, but the true addiction is when your body seeks it out. Like if your body becomes dependent on that substance, that's a true addiction.
Mhm. Yeah, I was, and also to clarify, I wasn't trying to say that you were saying that. I just wanted to make sure from the simple sentence you said that there wasn't like an implication there of that. That's all.
I
I'm just-
mean, if people,
I'm just
wanna-
being your lawyer over here, okay?
You don't have to be my lawyer because if people want to take a simple sentence and make a complex argument out of it, that's their choice. They can do that if they want. I don't give a fuck. Like,
Honestly, maybe I shouldn't say anything because then we'd actually get some comments.
like you are 100% responsible for your addiction, just like you are 100% responsible for your mental illness. No, it's not it might not be your fault, but it is your responsibility regardless.
Yes. Okay.
You have to choose. No one else.
Mhm.
Comes in two forms, twink and twunk. They say that eye contact is important. But maybe not this much. I do think we need a sexy skeleton. And the epitome of skeleton in this game is Yorick. Yorick comes from Hamlet, the famous soliloquy, Alas, poor Yorick. In the Japanese version, he isn't called Yorick, he's called Soccer Boy. The imp is a mischievous sprite, and I was a bit worried about size differentials, but then I remembered Bee Movie, where a human woman falls in love with a bee. Jerry Seinfeld taught me that through love, all things are possible. Trolls. It's time for someone to give them the love they deserve. The next monster is Evil Force, and I want you to just go ahead and wipe away all preconceived notions. Obviously, the name makes it sound bad. It also is terrible. Edimu are Mesopotamian demons that come back from the dead when they weren't buried correctly, which seems like super high maintenance. The Slaughterer apparently skips leg day. The Arthroverta, just a human face plastered on top of like an arthropod. I don't know, maybe. Chan Chan, or the Bitterfly, comes from Chile. It's about Mapuche wizards that turn into this thing, kind of like vampires turning into bats. It's a neat talent. The Killer Mantle comes from an urban legend in Japan about Akamanto, which is a spirit that lives in toilets, and then asks you if you want red or blue toilet paper. Red, they'll stab you in the back a bunch, and blue, they'll strangle you till you turn blue. I'm just not into toilet stuff. I mean, most of these monsters are pretty okay. They're not the most surprise! I lulled you into a false sense of security. It's time for a mini game I like to call If I Were a Castlevania Game, What Title Would I Be? Take your birth.
I mean, the hand is sticking out of the toilet, so that I'm going to assume it will insert itself into you if you try to sit down.
I'm just talking about like a projectile, like diarrhea squirt onto him and run.
I mean, if you plan to do that, yeah, but I'm assuming if your ass gets anywhere in penetration distance, you got a problem. I don't think
but
it's living inside a toilet. I don't think it gives a fuck about shit.
What if I threw some soap on him?
It might care about that. It might care about that.
Oh yeah.
Birth month, and that's the first part of the title, of, and your birth date is the second part.
Be funny.
My
if that's
title
why
would
they
be
burned
Castlevania,
the
Sonata
shit-
of the Eclipse.
shit
All
barrels
of these
in
games
Iraq.
sound the same.
But oh man, that smell. That must have smelled.
Also, like a lot of them had very like little protection too, so they and you had to manually stir it as it was burning, and like the smoke was getting up into you. There's a bunch of people who just like got cancer from it. It was used as a punishment though too.
I'm not surprised if some people get conjunctivitis from that. You had to. Some people had to have. I want to know. Can you get conjunctivitis from shit smoke?
Oh yeah, I wonder.
Because
So I wonder, like, they burn it hot though. It's like
true,
yeah.
but man, I'm curious now.
Kind of makes me.
can't, you know, I can't.
Someday I might have to suggest Jarhead for a
How,
movie.
you know, now that I'm thinking about it, I think the heat would save you. It'd be too hot for the conjunctivitis to survive.
No, it's just the fucking toxic smoke that's fucking
you
hurting
breathing in
you.
human feces. Just the fact you're breathing human fucking feces. That's not supposed to be in your lungs.
But Jarhead's a good movie that shows like,
you know, I can't.
like the horrors of being deployed, but not exactly the actual warfare of it. The horrors of being isolated in a desert and like just nothing happening for months and months as you just get brutalized by everybody around you.
Yeah, and I can't say that I'm an expert on what's supposed to be in your lungs, but I don't think human feces is supposed to be in your lungs.
Oh no.
I can't.
No, nothing's really supposed to be in your lungs, honestly.
Hey, I'm not gonna state that I'm the expert on this because, hey, who fucking knows? It turns out fucking we've been doing it wrong this whole time. Who fucking
There's a reason why bongs are better than just like smoking a joint. It's because it cools down the smoke. Any smoke is just like, even if it doesn't have anything toxic in it, is literally gonna be burning your lungs on impact, on contact.
I'm pointing this out. That's not the smoke itself. That is the temperature of the smoke. That's doing it. The actual.
That's why
smoke
it's
itself
better
is
to
not
cool
doing,
it down.
The smoke is hot. Smoke is from fire,
And then
so it's hot.
And I will attest that technically weed is better to smoke than like cigarettes because weed has a thicker smoke, so it doesn't go as deep into your lungs. So the tar is more building up outside than like the actual inner parts of like the tubes, which is more what cigarette smoke is thinner, so it
You
actually
know-
goes deep in there and then gets to those capillaries.
Another thing, you know, when they show the smoker's lung versus the healthy lung, they always
Mhm.
specify that it's tobacco. They always make sure that
Oh,
we
yeah.
know that this is from tobacco smoke. This is what happens when you smoke tobacco. I want to see
Mhm.
a smoker's lung that's only smoked marijuana. Hasn't even smoked nicotine. Like, hasn't smoked a blunt wrap or anything. Just their whole life, they smoked out of joint papers, which has
Just
no nicotine.
flower.
Or bong. Yeah, just flour. I want to see that. Show,
Mhm.
because that's what really got me to stop fucking really got against cigarettes was the fucking seeing the lungs. I mean, I know I started smoking cigarettes, but I'm gonna be brutally honest. I was just doing it because I thought I looked cool.
Mhm. Does make people look cool.
So, but fucking, yeah, I definitely was not like a heavy. For a second, I was a heavy cigarette smoker, but I smoked like I can't remember the name of the fucking. There's a cigarette that I was smoking. It was right before. It was literally what got me to stop smoking cigarettes altogether. I smoked like I had to go do something. It was a very important thing that I had to go do. I was very fucking anxious, very nervous. I was on edge. I had no weed. So, what do you do when you have no weed but you want to smoke? You take a pack of cigarettes. Oh, and you just keep puffing and puffing and puffing until that feeling goes away. The feeling didn't go away for 2 whole packs, and it still didn't go away because I threw up bacon. And
Damn.
I inhaled this bacon because most of it wasn't even chewed up.
Oh damn.
So I literally just like swallowed whole pieces of bacon and then proceeded to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes.
Ugh. Bro, that's like the worst thing you could ever do.
It will, trust me, you will after you throw up after that, you will never want to smoke another cigarette again.
I'd never want to do that in the first place. And I mean, I've shade smoked like a whole pack of cigarettes, but damn, like maybe a whole pack and a half. But
But yeah,
usually it's I didn't just keep going like sucking on it like a joint though. You know, I smoked it like
Oh,
you
yeah.
would a cigarette. You know,
Nope.
slowly through you know like
Nope,
10
I
minutes
was-
per cigarette.
they were my joints, man. I was going through them.
But also, I wonder if like because I feel like there has to be some tar because I mean just like looking at what it does to your pipes and like even if you like take a piece of toilet paper and like exhale into it, it'll make like a little bit of resin.
Yeah,
But
it has to
I
make,
wonder if
like,
there's like
something.
I wonder if there's enough resin in your lungs for you to scrape it off and then smoke.
It wouldn't be it wouldn't be that would definitely be spent. Your body would have consumed everything that you needed.
You think every little part that's just like even like chunks on the outside, like in your
Maybe.
lungs and like the out part.
Yeah, yeah.
like,
I'm,
I don't
I'm
know.
assuming this is just my assumption. If resin does form in your lungs, that your body does absorb that resin after a while.
Or what if you took your actual lungs,
Because that resin
like
is
say
just-
take someone, no, you take someone else's lungs, like a heavy smoker throughout, like let's say they smoked like ounces and ounces a day throughout the years, then they died, and you put them through a mummification process, dry out the lungs, grind them up, and smoke them. Would you get high?
No, the THC didn't seep into the. You got to get the THC, and the THC didn't seep into the lungs.
Well, damn, I can't write that down as a spell then. Or
No. To be honest, I think the only thing you could do that with is acid, and you'd have to eat their brain or their spinal column, like their.
Oh yeah, you have to drink the spinal juice.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, and that would trip you out real hard. That definitely would.
Oh, that'd be
But
crazy.
You'd have to make sure they do you'd have to keep them under real wraps because you got to keep them on acid for like literally 6 months straight. It's like the Manson. That's the one thing that I wanted. I want to do the Manson family spinal fluid so fucking bad. Dude.
You gotta hunt them down and drink their spinal fluid. And anybody that was into Am Shinrikyo.
Yeah, boy.
You gotta find your OGs though. It has to be anybody that was actually in that camp.
It not only that, but it has to be some of the scientists when it comes to Am Shinrikyo. I want the scientists. You know they were testing the good. You know they were keeping the good shit for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Gain their
Them and the
knowledge.
Them and the guru. Oh man, you'd probably fucking go insane if you tried to do Shoko Asahara's or Charles Manson's spinal fluid. That shit would probably make you. Their personality would take you over, and they would be.
They possess you.
That's how they get fucking
Even-
reincarnated.
Even if they didn't actually possess you, you'd just like go crazy and think they did. So
it'd be
you'd
fucking,
recreate them in your brain.
it'd be fucking Toji from Jujutsu Kaisen. Just built differently.
Mm-hmm. God damn. Oh yeah, get
We're
over-
halfway through the viable enemies. We got 35
Sorry,
monsters that I think are pretty good options. We're going to
sorry,
start with
Wally.
the monsters that are supposed to be sexy. So
Damn right. Always gotta remember, this man's fucking Waluigi.
It's the Waluigi.
That also means, though, spoiler alerts for his Waluigi video, that also means he's Luigi as well.
Mm-hmm. He was also a really good Ice King too.
Because, yes, he is. He's a fucking amazing Ice King.
That was a great. That actually made that whole series because it was kind of a meh-ish one, like at some points, but that was definitely a highlight.
I fucking. It's all thanks to
That was
me.
like one of the greatest episodes.
You wouldn't even know who the fuck that was.
Mhm.
Oh man, and he's
Ooh.
getting more work too. I'm so glad that's why he hasn't been posting lately. It's because he's been getting shit ton of work, which he's glad that he's got shit ton of work, but he's also upset that he can't stream anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, because he rides he's a very unique streamer. He doesn't just play video games. He fucking rides a goddamn stationary bicycle while he video games. Like he can ride a bike.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like it's
YMS used to do that too. That was how he played through the hardcore like Uncharted.
he played through Bloodborne.
He was
like
doing
that.
that.
Brian David Gilbert played through Bloodborne like that.
Mm-hmm.
He did. That's his exercise. That's how
Hell
he
yeah.
exercises. Yeah, that's fucking. That's what gets me. You got to be unique with it. You can't just stream
Mhm.
video games. I've learned that.
I like that he's also getting some like physical health in.
yeah. Always. I think it was to help with his heart rate. Like he had a very unhealthy heart
Mhm.
rate, so he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this, and I might as well stream while I do it." And to ignore his legs screaming in pain, he focused on a video game.
That's a good way to make yourself stream, just like getting money off of it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, working out.
Working out and fucking just being able to stream as well. It's
Oh, yeah,
so I like workout. Even though not many people do it, workout streams aren't bad. Cuz it's
Mhm.
basically like working out at the gym. You just you got your gym bro that you work out with every so often.
I've only ever worked out alone in my room.
Well, I feel weird cuz of how I work out, but
I don't like working out.
the last fucking thing that I can't stand it when I finish my reps of push-ups, stand up, turn around, someone's standing in the hallway just looking at you that they've been staring at you for the whole time. It's like, the fuck's your problem, man?
You're doing it wrong. Let me tell you. Let me tell you in an impossible way to actually describe to you how to do it. Make your muscles do this. Hold it like
The-
this, like
the-
this.
I know I
It's like when
shouldn't-
people like try to teach me how to use a pencil. Like
You-
that just doesn't happen when I pick up a pencil.
you lower yourself until you feel your muscles tense, and then you release. That's all it's about. Is you're making your muscles flex over and over and over and over again. You don't go all the way
Mhm.
down to the ground. You don't touch. I fucking can't stand watching the people that touch their nose to the ground. It's like that's not doing anything, but you're doing damage to yourself. You're actively
Mhm.
ripping your muscles.
Mm.
the thing to build up your muscles is you have to flex them. You not fucking completely rip them to shreds. It's not gonna do anything for you. That's just gonna cause pain.
hmm But fitness is fucking boring.
It can be. It can be. If it's fucking
Super. It is.
I'm one that if there's a good workout video, I'll get pumped and want to work out too. It's gotta be a good workout video though. But I have way more in it. This is the insomniac talking. That's been literally how I've been going to sleep for the past like couple months. Have just been blacking out. So I'm probably not the best person to be given this kind of advice and shit.
All I'm saying is that I don't have energy for anything, so of course I don't. I've tried getting into the spirit of working out before, but it was always such a hassle, and also just like hard enough, just like to put focus enough on like taking a shower every day.
Yeah, I can't even lay down in my bed during the hours of I want to say 5 a.m. to like 10 a.m. For 5 hours. If I want to lay in my bed, I have to work out first. I programmed my mind to do that. Like I have to do at least my stretches and 100 push-ups, if not 200 crunches. I'm at 200. I was at 400, but I stopped doing them. I'm upset.
That was the only thing I used to kind of do. Is crunches the one when you like do when you like you're working your
basically-
abs?
Yeah, you attempt to sit up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I used to do those a lot. I used to do like 100 a day too, but then I had the ankle thing, and then like it. You know how you have to like kind of like put yourself like have something heavy on you so your like feet don't stand up.
You should switch to where you touch your knee to your elbow. You touch your left knee to your right elbow, and you touch your right knee to your left elbow. You should do those crunches.
Oh. But you see what I mean? Like when you have to like
Yeah.
like shove it like under like a bed or a couch, but like
Oh.
my ankle makes that like super
Yeah,
painful.
You need somebody basically to successfully do them. You need someone holding you down.
Yeah, which is like I haven't done since like I was in elementary school when they made us do that.
Yeah, during.
But that was definitely like the only time
presidential-
I actually like could do good ones because it got to the point when sometimes I'd like lift the whole couch with like my feet when I was doing it.
Yeah, fucking during the.
I'm like, God damn it,
presidential
trying to keep them
fitness.
down.
But yeah, I'm very like I've been losing my abs here lately, and I'm very obsessed with my abs. I'm not gonna lie. I like seeing.
I used to start having a kind of an outline of them starting, and I got it to the point when like when I'd get my friends just like kick me in the stomach and it wouldn't do anything. You know, I just like flex my stomach and then just like take full kicks. But then
used to have cum
then I
gutters.
stopped and cum gutters.
Yeah. I used to, but I have again. I haven't been doing them in a while, so I lost my cum gutters. I'm upset about that.
What's defined as cum gutters? Is it just that little dent that's right here in your like the side?
It's well, it depends on who you're talking to. Some people just think it's very defined abs, but other people say it's the lines that you get. It's like right at
Like right above your
hip.
groin, right?
Yeah, like right above your groin.
Like when it
area.
starts that V.
Yeah, that V is what some people call the cum gutters. It all depends.
That's
on
what I
how
always
you
thought
talk
was
about
cum gutters.
it. Yeah, well, you got to work on your abs to get that.
Hmm. Then there's was it fucking what was it, the dimples of Venus or dimples of Aphrodite that are on your back? You could just have that for being skinny. Cause I have that.
Oh, those
That's
fucking
not a muscle thing.
the love, yeah, the love dimples. Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
can't fucking stand love dimples. the
You
fuck out of me.
don't like the love dimple? I feel like most people have them.
I don't. I mean, most people do, but yeah, I don't love the love dimples. That is.
I like love dimples. They're pretty sweet. I like them.
I mean, they're good for grip. But other than that, they're just dimples. They're just dimples.
I like weird dimples with weird lines. Yeah, I feel like we lack we lack like design on us.
Yeah, no, we do. That's why we make up shit to be attracted to. Like
Yeah,
on this
or-
like on this video.
Yeah.
But it feels kind of unfair to use them as the sexy monsters. Lorelei, Lilith, and all of the succubi. Harpies, headhunter, arachnes, dryads, rusalka, and naiads. I'm just putting these ones all around the sides. The demons, the ones with the horns and the wings, and they're really ripped and muscular. Mothman. Everyone thinks the Mothman's pretty sexy. Although this Jersey Devil depiction looks just kind of...
Fucking Mothman is the sexiest cryptid.
Yep.
Name
Spoilers.
spoilers. But
Even Papa Meat just did a tier list of them, or like a kind of he did like a versus thing, and that's he picked Mothman as top cryptid too.
fucking Mothman's the best cryptid, man. I mean, why would
Yeah.
he's just trying to
was-
warn
it-
you about
Mhm.
the bridge. The bridge. That's all he's trying to do.
You know you have to be a top tier cryptid when it comes down between you and the Jersey Devil, and you fucking win.
The Jersey Devil's too much of a chimera to love. You can't love at least with the Mothman, you can make him kind of sexy. You can't make the Jersey Devil.
Well, I mean, in the Papa Meat one, that was just about cool cryptids.
True, but I was just yeah, I got you.
But for fucking I definitely would fuck the Mothman over the Jersey Devil, because the Jersey Devil's just like a horse demon.
We're about to actually go over the Jersey Devil.
The Jersey Devil.
like a horse with wings. The actual Jersey Devil comes from an idea of a woman who cursed her 13th child, being like, "Oh God, I gotta have another baby," and then it came out, and then it grew like a goat's face and wings.
And then she declared
And
it.
I just
it
think
as
we
a
need to
demon.
start thinking of
She's
New
like,
Jersey
let
in
this
general
baby be a
as
demon,
sexier.
and then it flew out her pussy.
And this might be the way to do that. The Minotaur, you gotta work through that labyrinth, but once you get in.
That is not the case. She didn't go into labor once she cursed it. She cursed it, and then she did the full 9 months, and then it came out. It didn't just come flying out. You put the timeline very short there, man. That was a very short timeline.
I was trying to make it funny. It was a bit. It's funny just for her to be like, "Oh no, fuck this baby," and then it flies fucking away out the window
Flew up the chimney.
or out the chimney. Whatever. It flew out her pussy either way.
Oh man.
That's the bottom line.
in there and find the real Minotaur, he might kill you. But he also might open up and be really lovely. The Chupacabra is an impish little fella, first sighted
he'll
in
get
Puerto
ya.
Rico and is known throughout lots of Latin America. His name translates to goat sucker. Do I have to explain?
Very good argument Brian just made. Chupacabra translate to goat sucker.
Mm-hmm. Though, and this is something that Tears of the Clown on the last podcast channel brought up. That's good. Depends on which chupacabra are you talking about, because one of them is just a dog.
We're not talking about the fake chupacabra. We're talking about the real chupacabra. We're not talking about that weird fucking.
Are we talking about reptilian type of,
We're
spike,
talking
got the
about
spikes
the
back?
chupacabra. We're not talking about the fucking stupid blue coyote. If we were talking about the blue coyote, I would have said the blue coyote. We're talking about
a lot of people now like
talking about
depict.
cryptids. We are talking about cryptids here. We're not talking about real animals. We're talking about animals that are neither confirmed nor non-confirmed.
Well, I'm just saying that unfortunately, the fucking blue dogs fucking like kind of made a confusion now. And, like, people even depict them now more canine like, and then they'll still add the spikes on the back and stuff too. And everyone, like, I feel like we're moving more away from like the classic reptilian chupacabra, with like the needle teeth and the
But again,
scales and the spiked back and claws,
its name
long tongue.
Its name is Goat Sucker. I'm gonna be upset if I have to explain why that makes it a pretty good cryptid.
Oh yeah.
Explain.
The
The
second part.
Fomorians are personifications of chaos and other evil ideas in Irish folklore, and they're these goat people, and they're ripped as hell. Lizard Man, if you don't know why I'm putting this here, you gotta go watch my Skyrim video. Banshee comes from Irish folklore and will foretell the death of someone you know. It's a bit spooky, it's also super emotionally available. You won't have to worry about what the Banshee is thinking. They will tell you when they're upset, and also when your parents are gonna die. Slogra doesn't have a folklore or mythology associated with it. I got
That'd be
nothing
sad,
for you.
but
If you're not
I guess it's
attracted
like
to this,
good to
you're
know,
wrong.
isn't it?
Because the right
Prep. I'm sorry. I didn't know, I didn't know that the banshee. I was fascinated by the fact that the banshee will tell you when your parents are gonna die.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about the you didn't know about that about the Banshee?
No, I thought they were mainly just like you hear a scream outside, and it was usually about like if you're about to die. I didn't know it was specifically about they're just gonna tell you when your parents are gonna die. Like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
by the
it's
way,
your
like on October 31st.
No,
Yeah,
them
your
screaming
fucking parents
is
are gonna fucking die.
Them screaming is the warning.
I didn't know it was about specifically parents. That was just like a general like sign of like oncoming doom.
No, it's your parents. It's your fucking parents.
Like when a raven like goes on your windowsill and like caps on your window or some shit.
Oh, that's from the poem.
I thought there's also a suspicion, like a superstition about like them being
That came from the poem. That
came
poem
specifically
is,
from poem.
yeah, the poem is what made that superstition.
Okay, I didn't know if he like got it from like an old folklore.
from Irish folklore and will foretell the death of someone you know. It's a bit spooky, it's also super emotionally available. You won't have to worry about what the Banshee is thinking, they will tell you when they're upset, and also when your parents are gonna die. Slogra doesn't have a folklore or mythology associated with it.
Slogger.
I got nothing for you. If you're not attracted to this, you're wrong. Because the Raikuda only exists in Castlevania, it means that there's very specific artwork that you can find of it. It's very modern artwork has been made about the
What's the
Raikuda,
slogger on the
which
cryptid
proves
list?
it can be sexy. Dullahan is an Irish
No, Slogra is a 100% original Castlevania creature. That is not a cryptid. That is not a myth. There's no mythology.
What? Yeah, I didn't think it was a. I did think it was a cryptid. You said that we needed to get something from this. That you said that you thought was a reference from
No,
this
no, it's
thing.
not
So I
that.
thought like,
already
oh, I
told
could
you
see
that-
how this weird specific.
I'm a bit upset
Oh,
because
what?
I've already told you the reference.
Well, excuse you. I've had about like, I think I'm on my 5th or 6th shot right now. So.
So, yeah, let's watch. Let's keep watching.
Sorry, my alcohol.
Irish fairy that is like a headless horseman sort of character is also another portent of death. But can you think about all the cool Spider-Man kisses you could do with that? The Jiangshi is the Qing Dynasty version of a vampire. Karamet comes out when you bang on his pot a couple
Hello?
times. It's a good face, right? I could talk to that thing for hours. There are so many armors in Castlevania, no
Oh,
one
wait,
can turn
I'm back.
down a man in uniform. Or a poltergeist in uniform. Or literally just an enchanted uniform. Oh, mother of pearl, I forgot about goblins. Everyone forgets about goblins, though, so I'll put them over here. I also forgot about Siren. That's another thing that's sexy and draws people in. How did I skip so many of these? The guillotiner. It doesn't look like much.
How's
Could be
my
a
audio?
problem, but it's time for us to bring it back. Slime.
Your audio's fine. Why?
Okay, cool. Because we definitely maybe had a mini skip there because I know it went silent on your end. Not even just your end on your speaking, but on the actual video.
I accidentally muted my microphone.
Oh, okay. I was making sure that it wasn't. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry.
You're all good.
Slime. There are already things online. The Tsuchinoko is a Japanese cryptid that is a snake that is fatter in its middle than on its head or its tail.
I love those things.
You don't, Patrick, you gotta understand, it's not about what you could first see, right?
I mean, but even after that, what do you see after that?
It has a propensity for
spices.
lying and for drinking alcohol. Patrick thinks it shouldn't be this high on the list, but fuck Patrick. We're at the top 5, but before we get there, I have a confession to make. I've kept 6 monsters that don't even fit my criteria, but I love them so much that I think they deserve a chance. First up is a unique character. It's Nurgle Mislamsty. The reason I think he deserves a chance is because someone named him Nurgle Mislamsty. Of course he's gonna be fucking evil. If you name your child's... What's up with people in Castlevania naming their children dumb shit? Seriously, Alucard? Dracula. You can't just name your child your name backwards. I'm not gonna name my son Nairb. Scary Candle. It's an inanimate object that is made animate, but I fucking love candles. Next 2, I think are pretty self-explanatory.
You know what you have
Bone
to
Pillar.
do?
And if that doesn't make
Your next child must be Yokum.
I don't think that correlates.
Yokum.
Fuck, I don't think I... God damn it.
Wait, Yekum. I guess it would be Yekum. Sorry. Yakum. Yakum.
Yakums. It's gotta be
Yakums.
corals.
Yeah. Yakums.
you happy. How about the Bone Dragon? This next
It does
one is
sound
a
like a
ghost, and I've
biblical
already
name.
explained why that one shouldn't be included in this, but I had to because the ghost's name is Duke Mirage. And if someone comes up and introduces themselves to me as Duke Mirage, my pants are already off. Finally, I know I nixed all animals, but I really do think we should include Hyena with gun. That hyena can get it. We're at the top 5. The Malabranca come from Dante's Divine Comedy. They're all unique demons that are used to help keep corrupt politicians under boiling pits of tar in hell. They all have great names like Cognazzo and Scarmiglione, which was translated into the English version as Skull Million, which is just a SoundCloud rapper. They're already mischievous, and they hate corrupt politicians. We can get behind that. The Myconid is a sentient race of mushroom people.
Yeah, boy, I would love a fucking race of psychedelic mushroom people. Yeah, boy, you just have to inhale their
Oh,
spores.
shit.
You just have to, cause usually the thing, you just have to inhale their spores to fucking trip. That'd be fucking cool. You have your little mushroom woman, and oh, you always tripping balls too.
Fucking her mushroom gill pussy.
Hey.
Except that whatever. I guess it would just be a gill because I don't think mushrooms have a pussy. They might have
We
something
have
close to it.
anthropomorphized Animalia.
They have some
Why
hole.
not anthropomorphized fungi? When I was a
There's
kid,
a hole,
my mom
there's a
thought
hole.
that I had a nutritional deficit because I kept wanting to eat mushrooms so much. Like that, I ate only mushrooms for like a whole week. That has nothing to do with this. I know I took out all of the werewolf creatures, but this one isn't that. This is the Princess of Moss. The human version is based off of... Let Them Eat Cake. Marie Antoinette. I think we should have more moth creatures in our movies, right? They're already drawn towards the limelight. It's an Ukobak. Why is this the second sexiest monster from Castlevania? I'll tell you why. He carries around a hot thing of coals and a spoon, and is also responsible not only for fried foods, but fireworks. Hell yes! What a cool dude! I think Ukobaks could be real sexy, right? What is more sexy than feeding someone with a lovely fried dish? And finally, the thing that I think should be the new sexy monster, the Mandrake, or the Allura Une. Basically, any sort of plant person. Allura Une actually comes from a 1911 book called
technically,
Alraune. It's a
can't get in
German
trouble
story.
legally
I
for
just
fucking
think
a plant.
that this kind of gives you a blank slate.
If we're talking about the Mandrake, Allura Une, yeah. But if we're talking about the Mandrake, I'd be skeptical if somebody was attracted to the Mandrake, because most of the time they look like babies.
Oh yeah, you definitely wouldn't trust them, but unfortunately, there'd be nothing you could do. It'd just be a sad
Allura
fact.
Une, I completely trust somebody attracted to Allura Une, because that's just a sexy woman coming out of a rose or something. But a Mandrake...
What if somebody just
I don't
fucking
know.
just a tree like that has no features of any type of human?
Well, he
What if
already...
they're just
we already
fucking
it's a
a
plant.
pure plant?
That's a plant. He
Yeah.
already discussed that. That's a plant. We're talking about a plant person. Mandrake isn't just a plant. Mandrake is a plant person.
It's like a plant baby.
Yeah, it fucking... You take it out of the dirt, and it screams and cries, and... Like, that is part of the mythology.
Hmm. Yeah, but I'm not saying that you should trust a person who fucks a mandrake. Just saying technically legal because it's a plant.
I mean, if it has sentience...
There ain't no protections.
It has sentience.
But
So
there's
there-
no actual law that
at
says
first,
like if something
if they
has
existed,
sentience.
If they existed, yes, at one point bestiality is illegal. But if we
Yeah,
can
but that's
confirm-
for animals.
Well, that's for sentient being. If you can consider something if you can confirm something has sentience, I guarantee there will be laws about.
I'm not talking about ethic. Let me clear this. I'm not talking about what's ethical. I'm talking about what's written law right here.
It's not written law because they don't exist. But if they existed, I guarantee that it would be illegal to fucking sleep with a mandrake.
If
It's just a baby.
I feel
it's
like
just
if they
it's just a
existed
baby.
exactly out of nowhere now on the current law and how it's written, I don't think there'd be a way for you to. I feel like they could buy an expensive enough lawyer to say like, we've done a DNA test and this is related to plants. It doesn't fall under bestiality rules and it doesn't follow under like any incest rules since it's not human. It
follows
is literally
under-
equivalent to fucking a squash.
No, it's the equivalent of fucking a 2-year-old that's got roots on it.
But they could use the speciation clause.
There is no
I'm not saying the
speciation
law is
clause.
ethical. I'm just saying,
They
but there's nothing in the law that says it's about like sentience. It's just about like don't fuck animals. Because
Again,
they don't give a shit about like sentience. Because you could still like,
Again, I don't
put a
think it will
animal
be
on the
legal.
farm.
I don't think it will ever be legal, no matter what substance you're made out of, to screw a minor. I don't think that's ultimately what it comes down to. It's not the fact that it's a plant; it's the fact that it's a baby plant. It's a baby, and it will
but
never be.
is that its adult form though? Because then it
No,
would
it
only
doesn't-
be something that looks like a baby.
Mandrakes don't have adult forms.
Okay, then it would be. So
You're
it'd be
talking
kind of like
about
you could only.
we're talking
You
about
could only
machine-
associate with a baby on like the way like you would think about it, like with like just
Its
like
mentality.
by
It's-
comparing it to a baby, right?
its mental capacity will always be that of a 3-year-old, no matter what.
Okay, I'm just saying by how like I feel like I'm not trying to fight for anybody here.
Mhm.
I was just saying about how the laws are written. I feel like there is a loophole. You could say something is a plant. I don't think plants have any type of.
I think the second you
As a-
rolled, I think the second you rolled in the mandrake into the courtroom with it crying, it would not matter.
I don't know, because I feel like
The-
there's that dude who got away with like raping that like mentally disabled girl. So I feel like you could use the law just to do horrible things. So I feel like you could totally get away with fucking a mandrake. I feel like you'd be like, get the fuck out of my
Not-
court. I don't,
Was
this
she
is
a
weird.
minor? Was she a minor?
Yes.
You're gonna have to tell me. I've never heard this story whatsoever.
When is that fucking swimmer? One second. One second. There's a whole big one second. There's a whole big.
Because I have not heard this story whatsoever, and I would have heard this one. That is something our group of friends would be talking about.
It was a while, a little bit ago. Let's see, Robert. No, it's not the first one. I can play the video though.
But yeah, again,
You know.
I think as soon as the jury would hear the mandrake crying, it wouldn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
On something. Sure, this thing is born from the ground where hanged men bleed, which is spooky and scary, but it's not their fault, right? You know, they didn't choose to be born. Who does choose to be born, right? Who chooses? The metaphors of how our family raises us, you know? The mandrake is a perfect idea of something that can become greater than its original circumstances. So there you go. The full bestiary of the sexy monsters. Again, couldn't give you the full bestiary because that took me way too long. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go throw myself into the ocean now. I can't do that. I knew it was gonna be cold, but I didn't think it was gonna be that cold. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to Polygon if you want to see more Unraveled, and go ahead and leave a comment of your new Castlevania title. Maybe that'll convince them to make a new game.
Give me the. Yes. We got the 60. We got the 60. Oh. Yeah, I think I got. Yeah, I think I got this. What was this case? So I think I got it mixed up because Brock Turner was not a disabled girl. That was a different thing. And I got it mixed up with this Austin James Wilkerson case, but they weren't minors. But the that was someone that was half conscious. So So I don't know where I got that from. Can't find that. And I guess you're not in the mood for tier list? Okay. I guess goodbye, everybody.
Oh, I'm not even. I wasn't even, so people aren't even aware. Yeah, I no longer want to stream. It has left me.
Got you. To the short outro.
Yes. I am getting everything ready. Bye-bye, folks.
Bye.
See you, chump.
What the hell?
Bye, bitch.
Nice.
I'm a weirdo? Yeah. Why do I have a picture of his asshole if I'm a weirdo?
I'm on crack, and even I think that's whack. Anyways, empty your pockets right now. Everything. Yeah, I'm serious.
Because the reptilians essentially are just parasites. Like they just go from place to place, suck up all the bad juju, suck up everything that they can.
And what do they do with the energy?
They are evil.
You are self-consumed, no talent, mediocre piece of shit.
Wanna know how I got these scars? Well, I'm the Joker, baby.
In 1975, I walked Bob Dylan up on stage. Who the fuck are you? I knew the Grateful Dead from 1966. Who the fuck are you? You nothing. You nothing. You are nothing. And you will never be anything. Never. How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you?
You miserable, mediocre nothing.
Make out with a couple of guys in college, and all of a sudden you're a Charlie Dick horse.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Accuser of the fucking brethren, you motherfucker. Say you're a good dog. Motherfucker.
Give the gas and juicy slice. Hot drinks really get you going. Warmed you up when you feel you're slowing. Wendy's, we always serve it right away. And a smile and have a nice day.
You're just thirsty, bitch. Go drink you some water.
No! No! Don't drink the Jesus juice, Macaulay Culkin! You're going to get raped! You're going to get raped! My goodness, right.
Knives are also bad.